So with the recent popularity of the AI-only battles from the Civilization subreddit, I figured I'd do my own and focus entirely on Europe. Now I have all of the European civs within this game, and as well as a few other ones just outside of Europe, just to kind of keep the game diverse and interesting. So hopefully you'll be able to find one to back up and root for. I know I certainly will. I have my predictions. We can all predict together, and this should be pretty interesting to watch. So real quick, I want to give some information out before we just begin to hit the next turn and watch as the AI grows and expands and goes to war against each other. First of all, I'm not trying to be biased. I do have a favorite, or I guess a hopeful, I'm rooting for Warsaw. I'm rooting for Poland here. I really like Poland. I like their unique ability. I like the way the AI runs Poland. I think Poland is a very successful civ in most of the games that I play against. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's the civilization I think that's going to win. I'm just saying that they're one of my favorites. I'm going to be rooting for them throughout this entire game, just because, I mean, they're going to have a possibility to expand out here towards, Russian lands that, are pretty much unsettled by most of the other civilizations. Even though I do think that Catherine is going to be very expansive, I think she's got a lot of raw resources out this way. It should be very interesting. So we are playing on Deity. All the AIs are set up for Deity. I think the biggest issue when kind of watching these, well, so far I don't think I've seen an AI video playthrough in which I'm going to do it. I'm going to kind of narrate as we go through the turns. I'm going to set up the storylines. I mean, we're going to talk about it. We're going to see different things, and hopefully it'll make it pretty exciting, just as exciting as they are in the Civilization subreddit. So the thing about, I think, the AI-only battles, the problem is that they start off really, really slow, and I think one of the biggest issues for that is that they don't always, not all of them start off on Deity. I want to start off on Deity because this is where the AI is given the most amount of different resources from the very beginning. Usually the first 100 turns is pretty boring. And since we have such a interesting map, I don't think this is going to be very boring. We've got way too many, I mean, because they're on Deity, everyone starts off with a settler. So we're going to see those second cities, and we're going to see as these nations begin to form very, very early on, within this first video or the second. So I'm really interested to see. Also, we may even see a few wars break out, because as you can see, the AI on Deity mode obviously starts off with 3 warriors, and they also have a scout, so they'll be able to kind of go out and find some ruins and stuff like that. I do have the score list, as you can see, so I know you guys are all very interested in that whole thing, as well as I do have Info Addicts. I know that that's a very, very crucial mod to be running during this time, so it's pretty much just the Not Another Earth Map mod. That's how you say it, right? Mod. It's specifically the Europe version of that particular mod, and then, yeah, just the Info Addicts. That's it. That's all I'm running, nothing else. So this should be very, very interesting. The first thing that catches my eye within this world is look at all these crabs. There is plenty of crabs within, in between the British Isles as well as the Scandinavian region here. The only problem is that no one's going to be able to reach it. That's the interesting part, is that the Celts, they'll be able to reach, what, maybe if they're lucky, 2? Yeah, 2. I mean, there's a lot of crabs out here, but no one's really going to be able to take advantage. They're going to kind of have to go through the ring of crabs. I guess that's what we're going to call this, the ring of crabs. Again, I've already gone over my particular, civilization that I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for Poland. I like Poland. I think Kazimir runs a very good strategy. I think the AI does a very good job at running Poland. So anyways, let's go ahead and start hitting next turn. As you can see, I do have a few city-states on, and as you can see, it's already turn 1. I wanted to kind of place all the cities down so that you guys have more of a visual before we begin. You kind of know where everyone starts off and how. That's why you kind of see a lot of some of the units already beginning to move and everything like that. I just figured it's way better than looking at just settlers before they settle. So that's why we are on turn 1, and there is only one. We have I think there are about 10 city-states. Yeah, I mean, some of the city-states, obviously this one, Florence, was not I'm sorry, yeah, this is Florence, was not able to settle because Rome is just too close to them, so more than likely that city-state might get destroyed. Now, Venice should have an interesting game as well because they have so many city-states out to their east that they could easily convert with a few great merchants. Their Venetian merchants, actually, because they're, obviously on Deity, they start off with a merchant, so technically they could grab one of these city-states if they want to. So there's going to be a lot of different battles, a lot of different interesting things that are going to go on. We're going to focus mainly on regions and civilizations, but for now, as we continue to hit next turn, I would like to kind of focus on individual civs for now. So I guess, to start off, England has a very interesting location. I think that they're given a few resources. I mean, nothing. I mean, they don't have an excellent spot. The thing about England is if they get up the Great Lighthouse, if they're able to get the Great Lighthouse, which I'm not entirely sure if they're going to, they're not going to have to worry about Egypt in the south. Now, we all know the AI Egypt is very, very good at building wonders, especially on Deity. More than likely, if a wonder gets built, it's going to be built in Thebes. The thing about Thebes, though, and the thing about Egypt is they're not coastal. So England does have a chance here to building the Great Lighthouse. Now, this is a European map, and I'm not sure how exactly the English AI is going to really be able to navigate through the Mediterranean and up through the Atlantic Ocean up here. But if they're given the Great Lighthouse, their navies are going to be very, very powerful. Now, for the Celts, if the Celts survive this, then, you know, they're definitely going to be taking away some of that power from England, as we see some of the scouts moving up towards north, right below the Celts here. Just if the Celts manage to stay alive, more than likely they should definitely limit the power that that Elizabeth has. Now, the Celts, more than likely, I'm assuming, are going to get up the first religion, because they're surrounded by forest. As we know, the unique ability of the Celts is really geared towards those, like, religious sort of games, and I imagine that the Celts are going to get, more than likely, a Pantheon up first and a religion. The second, and I guess to kind of return to them, Egypt is still a big one here that could get up a religion. As I've been seeing as I play more and more of these mods, Egypt tends to get the Desert Folklore mod, which means, or I'm sorry, Desert Folklore Pantheon, which means that they're going to get extra faith per desert tile, and starting off in this region, that's huge. They'd get so much faith, and again, they would have a very, very dominant religion into the south, more than likely spreading up north towards the Ottomans as well as Greece. Now, a region that I'm really, really excited about is the Iberian Peninsula. Now, Spain and Portugal. Here we go. The epic battle between Spain and Portugal. The interesting thing here is Spain going to get the Rock of Gibraltar? Now, Spain, well, first of all, they're going to discover it. It's only a matter of time. They're going to get a little bit of gold from that, but the AI doesn't tend to do very good with gold. That's the whole key thing here is, yeah, if Spain is able to, you know, able to grab the Rock of Gibraltar within their cultural borders, and they slap down a city right here next to it, it's good. I mean, obviously we know that the Spanish unique ability, they get like double the yield from all unique natural wonders. But, you know, the AI doesn't tend to do so good with a lot of gold. They tend to be, like, pretty average when they have... I mean, I don't know, actually. I've played many games where the AI will have, like, tens of thousands of gold, but they don't really use it very well. So I don't exactly know how much the Rock of Gibraltar will really help out Spain. Portugal has got to play this game very expansive. It looks like they might be going out right now to settle a city. Actually, they both are. And it looks like a Spanish settler is actually trying to come over here towards the east and trying to grab all of these crabs, as well as the silk up north. It's an interesting choice. I imagine Portugal is probably going up north here, maybe possibly to grab some pearls and some other resources like these deer and this fish tile. It's interesting. Portugal's going to have to play very expansive if they're going to want to survive. And also, they're going to have to find some trade routes, you know, preferably, hopefully they get up some cargo trade routes. If they're going to want to survive this game, they're going to need to get some cargo ships and start trading with some other nations, maybe like England, maybe like Morocco, if he gets up a few coastal cities, which currently he does not have very many coastal cities. Morocco, I like to include in this game. I mean, you know, Morocco historically has a pretty big impact on Europe, and that's why I felt like I really had to include Morocco within this match. It's interesting, and they actually have a very, very good possible region over here with crabs, whales. I mean, sea resources are always very, very good. They're really, really interesting. It looks like Morocco's still wondering about where they want to expand towards. We got to remember that the AI doesn't exactly know where they're at right now. So we're going to see a lot of sort of exploration from scouts and possibly some warriors. They more than likely do not see this pretty good location for a city. It looks like they're trying to expand up towards the north and towards the east. It would be interesting to see Morocco get on the Iberian Peninsula. I doubt it, but who knows? It looks like, yeah, Spain more than likely is already going to grab one of these spots. So I don't think we're going to see that. Now, Carthage here, on the other hand, is going to have a very, very interesting game. As we know, Carthage and Dido is a really, really good expansive civ. And for most of the time, for most games I've played, if you've been watching me for a while, and I'm going to make a lot of references to this. I'll make sure I include a link in the description below of my Ottoman playthrough with a European map mod. It's not this particular European map mod, it's a different one, but A lot of the same civs are in that game. And I think a lot of I think we're going to see a lot of similarities between this campaign and that one. Obviously, I don't have an impact, so we're going to see a lot of the AIs begin to be very expansive, and that should be pretty interesting. Also, there is no city raising, so again, yes, we are going to see very, very massive empires. There is none of this shit where even city-states will be able to get involved and maybe have themselves a few cities, because I hate seeing an AI get really expansive and then they just burn down a bunch of cities. I like when they keep the cities, and the AI doesn't get that big of a hit to the happiness. The AI is much, much better at handling the happiness because I think they get a bonus for their happiness. So as you can see, I'm just going to keep hitting next turn and we can talk about this for now. We're going to need to get through a little bit of this. Oh my gosh, Egypt already has their second city. We have a few civs that already have their second city up. Egypt is one. Catherine of Russia is another, which is good. I mean, it's interesting because Russia has a lot of land to expand. Russia really kind of controls their own destiny somewhat here. They don't necessarily have the best unique ability. They're just going to be very expansive. They're going to have extra strategic resources. Russia does somewhat have control over their unique ability and I guess control over their destiny. They can be very good if they want to. The other one, I guess, is Sweden. And oh my gosh, Sweden actually they just cockblocked Copenhagen here. Oh man. Denmark, you just got cock-blocked within the first 5 turns. I am terribly sorry. It looks like you're going to have to get onto mainland Europe if you're going to want to expand Harold's Bluetooth. You might want to come over here towards this region. You might get some border attention immediately with Bismarck and Germany, and as you can see, most of the AIs are beginning to settle their second city. Good. Poland, my personal favorite, my hope that hopefully will win, has got their second city. Germany has begun to expand. France is still at 1, but looks like they're going to get a city that maybe, yeah. And also York has been settled here. Good for England. Speaking of, the British Isles, I think the Celts are more than likely going to have a difficult spot to choose. Maybe not. It looks like they're going to try to grab these Wales up north here. They always do have this land region. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take the AI to discover up this way, but I mean, it will happen definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if most of Europe is completely controlled by a few civs, and I think that's the key. Now, I think that, when we're looking at this game and we're trying to predict, and I would love, by the way, I'd love to see your predictions in the comment section below. Please make your predictions within part 1. That way we know by the end who got it right, who got it wrong, you know what I mean? Please let me know in the comment section below who is your favorite to win and who you think is going to win. Again, my favorite, I want Poland to win, but I don't know if they will. I think there's a chance. Now, I want to go over a few of the civilizations that I think have the best chance at winning because they're I guess they're out of this clusterfuck that Europe is in right now. A lot of these civs are going to be forced to play tall, and a lot of these civs don't necessarily play tall the best way. A lot of their unique abilities don't necessarily... I don't know. A lot of their unique abilities don't give them a lot of advantages for playing tall. So, but they're going to be forced to. Germany, the Netherlands, France, England, obviously Venice, but Venice is naturally supposed to be played tall. So I think a lot of the exterior civs, a lot of the civs just outside of Europe are more than likely going to be some of the favorites to win. Morocco is going to have a lot of trade routes up. He should be making a lot of money, but again, AI doesn't tend to do that well with money. I think Carthage could be a favorite. Carthage should be very expansive, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if Carthage begins to land on the Italian peninsula. If Rome isn't quick enough, they will take Sicily. I think Carthage will take Sicily, but who knows? Dido might tend to stick on northern Africa here and just kind of grab this away from Morocco and Egypt. I guess they could kind of settle here on Corsica and Sardinia. That would be pretty interesting. I would like to see some interesting... I think the most interesting region, will be the Iberian Peninsula, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about exterior civs, I think, that have more than likely, logistically, the best chance at winning. Egypt is always a favorite. The AI that plays Egypt and Ramses is always very, very dominant. And, because he's going to get up a lot of wonders, and he's going to really be able to snowball. Arabia is another one. I am rooting for Arabia. I very, very much like Arabia, and he does have access to, all of this salt. As we all know, as Civ players, salt is the best. We love salts. salt is one of the best for yield, and that's a lot of salt to be kind of messed with. So I'm rooting for Arabia at some point, but I think they're my second favorite to win. They do have access to, I guess, the Great Barrier Reef. I actually don't think that's technically the right location for that to be in, but okay. Oh, okay, right? The Great Barrier Reef, I believe, is off Australia, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. My expertise in this region isn't the best in terms of physical geography. I'm not the best at physical geography. Looks like Arabia is actually going to settle their second city. That's good. I am rooting for Arabia. The Ottomans should be very expansive. They should clash with the Greeks, and as we talked about, Russia is going to be very interesting. Finally, I'm going to hit next turn here. Now, Poland, I want to win. Who I think's going to win definitely is going to be Babylon. I think Babylon is going to win this game. Look at the luxury resources they have surrounding them. So much salt, so much silver, so much sugar. They have access to a lot of river. They have access to desert if they get up to Petra, which I don't think they will. More than likely, Egypt will get up to Petra. I think my gut feeling is, yeah, definitely Babylon should win this game, but I think they're going to have some interesting... They might have some interesting clashes with Egypt. The thing that could stop Babylon, I think the only civ that has a chance at stopping Babylon and, you know, probably their ability to snowball is going to be the Ottomans. The Ottomans are going to be really, really expansive, I assume. I mean, Solomon likes to play this game very expansive, and I think that he could be one of the only civs that could stop Babylon and Nebuchadnezzar from achieving a science victory by the end of this game. Arabia might possibly do it, depending on how expansive Harun al-Rashid is. He could stop and hopefully go to war with Babylon a little bit, but there's only two civs. Yeah, there's practically only two civs, depending on how far Russia expands, as well as Egypt. There really is only two civs that could stop Babylon. I think my money is definitely on Babylon to win this game, but who knows? Because I've seen, and I've played this mod many times before in the past, we have seen European civs begin to just start to roll over a bunch of them at the same time. France and Germany, maybe Spain. It tends to be, you know, all we need to see in Europe is one civ kind of reach out and I guess grab another civ's capital. If we see that, that's when the snowball effect begins and they're unstoppable. The thing about the exterior, the civs that are just outside of European lands, the thing about them is that they're going to get big, and eventually they're going to meet another civilization that is just as big. And then, boom, there's the stalemate. It's still going to stop. In terms of Morocco and Carthage, it's not going to get much bigger than that. They're going to both be very big themselves. It's going to stop. Now, let's say France drops Isabella, and he takes Madrid, and maybe Barcelona in a peace deal. He's going to have maybe 3, maybe 4 more cities bigger than all of the other civilizations within Europe. That's where he snowballs. That's where he is just going to be an uncontrollable force within mainland Europe, and no one will be able to stop him. That's just an example. So I'm not necessarily counting out the civilizations within Europe just yet. I'm just kind of, you know, discussing all sorts of different options here. Anyways, guys, please, like I said, just want to repeat, let me know in the comment section below. Who's your favorite to win? Who you want to win, and who you think is going to win? Again, I'm going to stress the importance of a part 1 video. It's amazing if you leave a like. It really makes all of the difference. I really hope you guys are excited for this series as much as I am. I'm really excited for this series. I ultimately have just wanted to do this. I mean, if you guys have been following me for a long time now, you know that I love watching the AI and how it decides to expand and what strategies are, and this is exactly what we get to do. So anyways, don't worry, future videos will be a lot faster than this. I really wanted to just get over a couple information things in part 1, and from now on here, we're just going to start, boom, next turning it, and things are going to get very interesting really quick. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.